On this episode, we talk about non-creative careers, how I became a decent speaker, and I fawn over a pop singer. Again. Hey everybody, what's up? And welcome to Finish Friday, the show where we help more creative people change more lives. I'm your host, Todd B from Tennessee, and I've been away from the show for a while. Brian and I are kind of experimenting. So we got Einstein, we got Picasso, we got a school video, we got some writing videos that I've shot. I'm just trying to figure out kind of what works. I'll link all of those down below, of course, and if you have a second, go look at them. But for now, I want to move into today's topic. So since I've been writing about the creative process for the last 3 years or so, questions come in sometimes. And one of the ones that comes in a lot is, I'm a creative person in a non-creative job. And it comes up so often, and it came up yesterday again. I have to kind of get some thoughts out on this because I think people get misled, right? The first question I would ask whenever anyone tells me that is, are you sure? Because my perception is every role is creative in some way, and a lot of times you have just kind of fallen asleep or you're not interested in the role for other reasons, which is fine. But first, let's look at what you got and see if there's opportunity to be creative there. That's the first side of the motivation behind that question. The other possible motivation is someone's like, oh, I write or I draw or I sing, and there's no place for that in the market or at the job I have. And to that I have to say, unfortunately, that might be the deal. When you go to work for a company, they're trying to achieve some result, right? They have goals, they have deadlines, they have money that they need to make. And if what you do specifically for the company doesn't help them achieve the result, it doesn't really matter. Now, there are plenty of people who never move beyond creativity as a hobby, and that's absolutely fine. But if you're watching this right now and you're like, I hate my job because it can't be creative, one, I would ask the question, are you sure? And then second, I would see what we can do to move more of your hobby life into your real job, whether that means getting a degree to legitimize the skill or simply offering what you can do, graphic design, music, whatever, to the company to see where you can go. Because honestly, I believe there's always room for creativity. You just gotta find a place to put your foot in the door. This week's question of the week comes from Makeup Smurf. Makeup Smurf asks, have you found that writing has helped you become a better communicator verbally? Would you say it's helped you communicate your ideas / articulate your thoughts better? And what she's trying to figure out specifically is in response to the school video, which I'll put up again. She wants to know if writing helped me do that, right? Because most of the time, you guys know, I sit in front of the camera and I talk, and I can talk straight through for 5-10 minutes at a time or whatever. I wouldn't say that writing has necessarily helped me with that. I think it comes from being in 4-H speech contests when I was a kid and in middle school. It comes from working at a camp, and I was in front of 200 kids every day trying to tell them what to do. I was the director at that camp, so I had to then learn how to communicate with teenagers. That was a little differently. I was an editor at a newspaper, and so I talked to my writers, my staff, and we had to get organized, so I had to learn how to talk to them in public. And then executive editors, a different level. You know, I was there for a little bit too at my school paper. And then I went into the real world and I got a job as a trainer where I was learning how to talk to adults and make presentations in meetings. And not to mention, all during that time, I was learning how to use Snapchat and then moving to YouTube. And I'm listing all of these things, so hopefully that you understand, it's not just about staying with your laptop or your pens or whatever makes you comfortable as a writer. That can help you prepare. But what really turns this switch is when you go on, and by that I mean in front of people or in front of a camera, something has to happen where you learn how to deal with a surge of hormones, right? Because whenever you get in that position, your body thinks, hey, I'm being attacked by a dinosaur. maybe we should do something about this, right? So you have the surge of adrenaline, you have the surge of everything that's going on in your biology. And so public speaking is really about learning to deal with that and still being able to say what you need to say. So I would say the number one strategy, if you're trying to get better at a public speaker, is not to sit behind and write better speeches. It's to get in front of people and learn how to speak without the written words. This week's artist spotlight goes on my man, Adam Levine. Now, okay, I feel like I need to qualify this because even though I have seen him in concert in Maroon 5 like 3 times now, not like I'm qualifying too much, right? So here's the deal. I'm gonna flash this video up on the screen of Adam behind the scenes of his making of the music video, Girls Like You.
All this shit is awesome.
Like a little bit, yeah, muffled sound.
Oh, you're sounding great though.
It sounds amazing.
No, it'll be cool, yeah. I think it'll be nice. Let's do it again. Let's do that verse again. I just want to get the same feeling, like the right tone of it.
All right, watch that again. Here's the part in case you missed it. I'm gonna show it again. It's that important.
All this shit is awesome.
Like a little bit, yeah, muffled sound.
Oh, you're sounding great though.
It sounds amazing.
No, it'll be cool, yeah. I think it'll be nice. Let's do it again. Let's do that verse again. I just want to get the same feeling, like the right tone of it.
At this point in Adam's career, he has millions of dollars. He's married to a model. He has his name out there as part of Maroon 5 and as just Adam Levine, been in movies, written solo songs, done things like that. And still, what happens? We're in the trenches, we're recording a new song. Everybody in the booth says it's all good. Adam says, let me do that verse one more time. And I think that we have to look at that and kind of get a piece of the dominant creative's mind. The unstoppable creative doesn't care what anyone else thinks, right? Like when you're in that place, when you're a professional, it doesn't matter how big you are or how small you are. You have to have that mindset of that wasn't as good as I know it could have been. This is not about perfectionism. This is about performing to a level that you know you're capable of right now. If you're not capable of it, don't worry about it. But giving it everything you have, no matter what the feedback says, and then being able to release that, say, I'm good, roll the track, now let's record the video. Much love to my man, Adam. Honestly, he's kind of a role model for me just because of the performance he's given throughout the years and the way he's kept going in a super competitive industry. That does it for this week's Finish Friday. Before you get out of here, answer this week's Ask the Audience, which is, how's your summer? Mine's been pretty good. Went to the beach, went to the lake, going to Paris in the fall. Surprise, surprise. And I got this dope shirt. So I would say, all things considered, we're not doing too bad. Thanks so much for watching this. If you love this show, give it a thumbs up before you get out of here. Once again, I'm Todd B from Tennessee, and I will talk with you next week.